Hi guys, you're welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we'll be learning how to make a rolled collar. Okay, so it's one of the many variations of a collar. So let's get started. Now in this tutorial we're going to be focusing on the collar itself. This is my basic bodice pattern and I've done a tutorial before now on how to draft a basic bodice. So I'll be dropping the link in the description box. Okay, now you can see that the front is longer than the back. So after you close the bust dart, okay, it becomes equal. So I suggest you watch that tutorial and the link will be dropped in the description box. Okay, now let's get straight to work. Now we're going to be joining the front and back together at the shoulder to draft out the collar pattern. For my neckline, I used 3.5 inch for my neck width and 4 inch for the neck depth. Then for the back pattern, I did 3.5 inch for the neck width and 1 inch for the neck depth. So to do this type of collar, you need to adjust the neckline to a V neckline. That's for the back. Okay, so I want it to be as deep as 8, which is my chest line. So you mustn't make your own as deep as this. It could be shorter and it could be longer, meaning it could go beyond the chest line. Actually depends on what you want. Okay, so I'll just be marking out the unwanted parts and I'm going to be cutting that away from the pattern. Okay, but basically if you're making this type of collar, the back neckline has to be V. Yeah, that is like a constant. Okay, so I'll be matching the front and back patterns together at the shoulder with the aid of my masking tape. Okay, I'll just join it together so that when I'm measuring the neckline, it will be easy. The papers won't be moving here and there. So I have joined it together at the shoulder. This is what my masking tape looks like. Now we're going to measure the length of the neckline. And mind you, the front is on fold. So you don't measure like this, okay? You have to place your tape like so. Because the tape is not flexible, so you have to, this is how to position the tape around the curve. Whenever you're measuring any curved surface, okay, this is how to position your tape. You can see the way I did it, okay? So I think the length of my neckline is about 15 inches thereabouts, yeah? So we're going to cut out the neckline now. This is my pattern paper, okay? Now from the edge of my paper, this is going to be my center front, and on fabric, it will be cut on fold, okay? Now, we're going to be cutting out the width of the collar, or marking it rather. Now the width, you could do 4, you can do 6, but I'll just do 5 inches. This is going to determine, the width of the collar after folding. So I'm just drawing a parallel line to the edge of my paper. Okay, so let me just extend this a bit. I'm still marking my 5 inches. I'm extending the line a bit. Now this top part where you have the red line, that is where you're going to be measuring the length of the neckline. Okay, here, this is the neckline. Yeah. So from what I measured 15 inches. So I'll be marking 15 inches on this line. So this is where we're going to be sewing to the neckline of the bodice. And I'll also be marking 15 inches at the lower part of my paper like so. Then I would connect like this. And now we're going to mark the extension of the collar to give you that V-like shape at the back neckline. Okay, as you can see in the picture. So I'll just mark this. I marked 3 inches. You could do more than that anyway. So this is how the shape of my collar will be, and you're going to be cutting this on fold. That's the lower part and the edge too there. Then your collar will be cut on bias. Yes, any form of collar you're cutting should always be on bias. It allows the fabric to stretch comfortably on your neck, without having any form of difficulty. Yeah, so collars should always be cut on fold, on bias, I beg your pardon. Now this is my fabric. I'll show us how to cut on bias. Now you fold your fabric in form of a triangle like this, giving you like an angle 45 degrees like this, and then you fold again like so. So you can see that we have two folds, the lower folds and the other fold at the end there. Now I'm placing my pattern like this. So this is on fold and here on fold too. I'll now be cutting this out, and I'll be adding seam allowance to the top and the other side that is angled, okay? And it's as simple as that. Now after doing this, I'll go ahead and transfer my body's pattern to the fabric, okay? So I've already cut out my waist darts and I transferred the bust dart to the shoulder, okay? Just watch the body tutorial, you get what I'm saying. And I've also added my 1/2 inch seam allowance round, okay? And then for the peplum, I've done a comprehensive tutorial on how to cut out a full circle. Yes, I've done that. I will drop the link to the tutorial in the description box, okay? So let's get started with the sewing. Now I've joined the 3 pieces of my front bodies together. I will be joining the front to the back at the shoulder, and do not forget to sew add the darts to the body the back too. Yeah. Now here it is. We'll now be attaching the collar to the bodies. Now you fold your collar like so. You fold it, and you could add interfacing. It's actually optional because I used crepe material for the collar, so the interfacing is actually optional, okay? So I'll just fold the collar like so and then create a notch. Now let me just sound a short note when you cut. Okay, so now I'm going to be attaching the collar to the neckline, okay? You notch both the midpoint of the collar and the bodice, okay? So right side of the collar would be facing the wrong side of the bodice. Now because you're cutting on bias, there is tendency for the collar to want to stretch a little, which means it might be slightly longer than the length you measured initially. It's possible, okay? So before you start attaching the collar to the neckline, you want to measure and check, or trim off any excesses that you have. And I also forgot to mention that you should sew both ends of the collar, okay, before attaching. I mean this 2 edges here, yeah. Make sure you turn it first before attaching it to the neckline. So I'll go ahead and sew. Make sure you pin. It's very, very important, okay? So the collar is stopping exactly before the zipper allowance, okay, at the back. So I'll be sewing with 1/2 inch, and then if you want to use lining, the collar will be in between the fabric and the lining, but I'm not using lining for my own blouse. So this is how it's going to look like, okay? So for the rough edges around the neckline, you want to use your serger to do that. That's to clean the rough edges, okay? And then this is how you're going to be folding the collar. So for this particular one, we did 5 inches for the collar stand, so that's about 2.5 inch after folding, okay? So this is how it's going to look like at the back here. Then you still have your excess fabric, for the zipper. So I'll go ahead and complete the remaining part of the sewing and shirts. Okay, so this is how the collar looks like. It's so beautiful, trust me. And then this is the back view, okay? So if you don't know how to cut the sleeve, the peplum, the body, this is not a problem. I'll be dropping the link to the tutorials I've already done on all of that in the description box, and then we can go ahead to watch the tutorials. So I hope this was helpful. Yeah, so I would like to mention that if there's any tutorial you would like me to do, you can say that in the comment section. Do not forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends. Thank you for watching. Bye.